do it. Let's do it. We are back into it. Pin. All right. We are back. How y'all doing? Shout out where you're from. Shout out where you are from. It's great to see you. You know how we do it. You know how it goes here. Whew. I know we're going to get some questions. I'm about to make a name for myself. Y'all seen Deadpool? That was hilarious. I'm about to make a name for myself here. Let's see. All right. How do you never date again? Did you mean to ask it that way? You can just stop dating. Morocco. Let's go Morocco. I need to visit Morocco. I heard Morocco got some great people over there. New Jersey. Let's go Jersey. Yes, that's right. How y'all doing? So we're signed in on Instagram. We're signed in on TikTok. So forgive me if I'm looking both ways. Good to see you, Supreme Woman. You already know why we get on here. We get on here for the answers, and that's what I got. I got the answers to what's happening in today's dating economy. Dating economy is getting a little weird, y'all. What's that about? What's that about? You know, is it that, like, I've heard several things. No one's looking for commitment anymore. That's what I hear. No one's looking for, something real. Is that true? Is that what the feeling you're getting is? No one wants commitment? That's the wrong way. I wanted it to go this way. Let me fix. I'm trying to fix the camera here. Because I'm going to come with some raw honesty. Why do men feel like they have to lie about who they're seeing, talking to, or sexually involved with when you meet them? Because they don't want to lose you. That's an easy one. They don't want to lose you. They want to keep you on the hook. They feel like if they tell you too much, you won't stick around. And if you don't stick around, then they don't have you as an option. So, that's pretty much the short of it. By the way, if you want to work with me and you want to get into my group this week, I am testing people on how to identify narcissist and manipulative behavior. If you want, you'll have to get in on Wednesday. Make sure you apply by sending me a DM as soon as possible. Send me a DM. Why isn't this camera working? There we go. It needs to be more like this. But send me a DM if you want to work with me, if you want a one-on-one with me. I got a few spots available this week. I'm not going to list all those examples. How about this? Ask me if something is a red flag and I'll let you know. Dating men, so difficult to find someone honest. What are the signs to look out for? It depends on you. See, I can tell you what signs to look out for. I can say consistent behavior. But if you fall hard and quick and you don't know how to identify that, that's another side of it, right? So there's two sides to this. One is identifying the right person, and the second is having discernment. If you don't have personal discernment, if you don't have standards and boundaries, it doesn't matter. I can tell you all of the great things to look for in a man, but if your urge to be in a relationship is greater than your urge to protect yourself, then it's like going to the grocery store hungry. So what I would say is, it's not that difficult right? It is a little bit harder than it used to be. I can give you that. But it's not that difficult. It just may be that what you're looking for isn't presenting itself in the package that you wanted. That's normally the case. I'm pretty sure most of us have had an offer, but it just may not have been from a person that we're that attracted to, or it may not have been the person that was our ideal thing. See, a lot of us have an idea of what we're looking for in our brains already, right? We already think we want this kind of person with this kind of status or this kind of way of being. And what we don't do is say, okay, well, what if the person I need is not coming in the package that I put in my head, right? And we deny all the other potential possibilities because we have our written, picture in there. And there's nothing wrong with that, have that. But here's the thing is that sometimes what we're looking for isn't in the package we're looking for. After a narcissist, how to make sure that you will never be with another narcissist again. You need to apply for my group because that's all I do is I educate women on narcissism, manipulation, and you can see it in the comments, you can see it in my photos. I train women on a weekly basis on how to get through this. So if you want to know, go ahead and send me a DM if you want to be part of that or if you want a one-on-one to figure out what's going on with you. Hello, just got dumped by my 9 years boyfriend. Damn, I'm sorry. However, he still sends me messages letting me know. He still sends me messages letting me know about things he only shared with. Must I block him? Well, technically, if he dumped you, then why is he still talking to you? I really don't understand why people continue communication after they break up. Like, I can see if you guys were friends before that, but even then, you know how hard it is to just go back to friends? Like, we had feelings for each other. We liked each other, especially if one person is more of the victim or they didn't see it coming. And now you just expect me to go back to normal. Like, he's probably, when he dumped you, I would say he was already done with you long before that. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Because for him to just switch it off and go back to normal, he probably had that in the works for a while, and he got to a point. Old to him, new to you, right? So you have to take the steps you need in order to get over this. Sometimes that means breaking up. That means breaking contact, no contact, but getting to a place where you don't have to be, because that could be triggering for you, right? Especially if you didn't see it coming. I've given up on men. They all lie. I love your content. Thank you for keeping it real. No problem. But here's what I can tell you. Not all men lie. Okay? That is, and you have a right to give up. I'm not going to sit here and try to stop you. But what I will say is you might be missing some blessings by because what those men want is what's happening to you. Those men that are not good to people, that are not good to women, they're hoping that you give up. A lot of you wonderful and great women that are in this live today, I want you to know that that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping to make you lose faith and make you lose hope and make you lose optimism because they want you to give up on good men. They want you to only think that there are bad men out here. That's why there's so many guys that when they date you, one of the first things they say is, or one of the things, thank you, my love. That's what they say. At this point, I'm like, I have a conspiracy theory. Thank you for the rose. But how come every time someone sends me a rose, they have some name that makes it sound like I'm complimenting them? I had someone send me a rose and they were like, you're so cute. And I was like, oh, thanks, you're so cute. And I was like, hey, y'all be doing that to me on purpose. I'm playing, but you know what I mean. It's funny how y'all always got that kind of name. But so no, that is my name. I know, I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing. I'm not being serious. So, but the thing is that, some of these guys, when they get into relationships with you, right, they will tell you stuff to try to bring you down. They tell you there's stuff wrong with you. They tell you that you have issues or you need to do more or you're not doing enough or no guy will ever love you like I will. They're hoping that you give up. So when you go out here and you start feeling like, man, I'll never find someone, that's what they hope. They won. You gave them the exact power. You gave it to them because you had hope before they came along. And now they got in your head enough that you're like, man, I can't do this. They won. That's a win for them. So that's what I'm trying to show you is that you can't let them win. Decide if you want to or not, but don't let these kinds of guys win because you're better than that. When you finally decide to leave and they act like they will change, start love bombing after not trying for 7 months. But that's the thing is you have to develop discernment. You need to be able to identify whether it's acting or not, right? Because that's part of your job too. I understand that a lot of people can be very, convincing, but at the same time, that's where we have to take a little bit of the responsibility on our side too. And sometimes you gotta not give them a chance, even though they say they will. Right? Here's the thing, when I break up with someone, I don't break up with the secret hope that it's gonna come back and work again. See, that's where you're bluffing yourself. If any of y'all have broken up with someone, secretly saying to yourself, you know what, I hope that they learn from this breakup. I hope that when I break up with them, that they're gonna know that they messed up with me and they're gonna come crawling back. That's not right, because you're not done. And a part of that energy that's in there is saying you still want it to work. You're still attached. You haven't moved on. So when you do that, you ain't really broke up. And that's on you. That's not on the other person. Because I'll be honest, there's a certain amount of strikes that you get with me, right? There's a certain amount of strikes in certain categories you get with me, and I don't care how amazing you are. I don't care if you come back with $1 million. I don't care if you come back and you're the nicest person I ever met and you're doing everything. You're going to therapy day in, day out, doing everything. I don't care. Give that to the next person. You lost your chance with me. You should have learned while you had the opportunity. See, that's what it means to have standards. My standard is, I don't care if you go out to a rehab tomorrow and you get it together. Thank you. I'm so happy for you, but you need to go and move on, because there's someone out here that's gonna appreciate who I was the first time around, right? There's someone who's gonna appreciate my boundaries up front and not wait until they mess up 1,000 times. There's no more. Like, so what's the breaking point for you? But here's the thing, ladies, and I'm gonna tell you something that they don't talk about enough. Sometimes it's not an emotional breaking point. Sometimes it's just a standard. I can still like you. You know how many times I've had to learn to let someone go and I love the hell out of them? I can still love you. I can still be crazy about you. I can still think that you're an amazing individual. And guess what? I'm still gonna break up with you because I don't want this type of energy. You did too much. You did too much, and now when I look at you, I see that, right? You cheated on me. It's done. I still think you're a sweet person. I don't take away the fact that you were sweet. I just know you're a sweet person that cheats. But see, some of us are waiting for this magical feeling to come. Well, maybe if I wait for the feeling, maybe if I wait for the breaking point to just crawl into my spirit, then I'm finally gonna be able to let it go. Like, do you understand how control you are, how in control you are over your feelings? The thing is, feelings don't work as quickly as some things, right? Unless it's an extreme, a lot of the times our feelings are processed over time by our behaviors. If I go to the gym, if I never went to the gym, right? If I never go to the gym, the first day I go, guess what? It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. And this has actually happened to me. I got really out of shape. I got on a treadmill. I was like, baby, I want pizza with honey on it. I want pizza with honey, and I want a burger. And I was so hungry on that treadmill. I was like, Lord, you can't have me on this treadmill. And then what happened? 3 months later, I'm consistent. Now I don't want to go to the gym. I want to take a week off. I felt like crap. Do you see how emotions work? Emotions will follow the consistent pattern that you do. Sometimes you have to work against your emotions. You have to work against your emotions in order to change them. Saying, okay, well, maybe if I do this enough, one day this feeling will come that I never worked towards. Nah, y'all got it wrong. The only time that happens is sometimes when it gets real bad. And even sometimes that don't happen. You know how many clients I've had that had a dude practically strangle them? I don't want to get burnt on social media, but we giving it real. They've had that, and they're like, why do I still love him? Because you didn't work out of that. It's not, they could do the worst thing imaginable to you, and you will still like them because you didn't work out of the emotion. That's your job. Why? See, one of the problems with dating and bad relationships is that we're so codependent. We're so codependent on someone else giving us the motivation to do what's right for us. You see what I'm saying? The person who's treating me bad, they need to treat me bad enough that I feel like I'm ready to go. They need to treat me so bad that I'm ready to leave tomorrow. But until they treat me that bad, I'm gonna wait. Can't stand them. Relationship isn't for me. I'm just taking years out of my life that I could be finding the right person. You know why a lot of people are not gonna find the right person? Because they stuck on the wrong person. And then they get me with this, right? People will tell me this. They'll be like, well, you know what? I'm not going because I'm in the sex zone, because some people have friend zone and some people have sex zone. I'm in the sex zone. I want a relationship. He's not giving it to me. So I'm going to continue to pursue an actual relationship while I'm messing with this person that I actually want to give my heart to. Do you know how counterproductive that is? So you're going to fill up your head, your nervous system, your system with this person that you actually want to be with that's not giving you nothing, messing up your whole pattern and train of thought. Your whole nervous system is being programmed into this person. And you're saying, oh, but I want to go pursue who I really want. As soon as I find the man of my dreams, I'm out. It don't work like that. And then we wonder, and dudes do this too. Dudes do this too. I'm not talking about the dudes do this, the fellas do this. They will be sitting here, you know, having a good time with some of these women talking about, but when I find my wife, I'm gone from this. Your patterns, your body, your nervous system, your energy is attached to that person. When you get with this new person, you're not giving them a clean plate. You're giving them a dirty plate. You're giving them grief, misunderstanding, heartache, abuse. You're giving that. And you're saying, when I find the new person that had nothing to do with what I just went through, they're going to have to deal with some of that energy because that person's still lingering in your thoughts because you never closed the door. I'm going to close the door because of a new person. Why can't you close the door because of yourself? I'm going to close the door because a new person came around. You're always looking for someone else to validate what the heck you need to do next. Like, this is why we'll never make it. And then we say, I can't find the right person. No, you aren't the right person. You can't find them because you're not the right person. And I know it's hard. Trust me. I know how it feels to be alone, to not have anyone, to not get those endorphins, to wake up in the morning weeks at a time. I haven't had one person say good morning to me. I don't have someone scheduling a movie theater appointment with me. No one's going to dinner with me Friday night. I'm at home by myself watching Netflix. Everyone's out. I'm looking at couples on social media, scrolling through, looking at the happy couples, having happy times. And I'm just sitting here by my lonesome, missing out. I want to feel love again. I want to feel wanted. I feel like I haven't felt that in so long. I know how that feels. But that's what's required. That's what's required in order for you to move into a healthy situation. And do you know what else helps you when you do that? When you don't indulge in temporary fillers. Do you know what happens? Your discernment actually spikes. It's hard to discern when you're living in a swamp. It's hard to discern which one is crazy when you're dealing with somebody crazy. Because your standard at that moment is above this. If I'm dating at a standard of 2 and a 6 shows up, oh, I might be intimidated. If I'm dating at a 2 and a 3 shows up, I'm gonna think that's a better deal. But the 3 is still crappy. You see what I'm saying? This person's doing more than this person. But you're still attached to the one before. You need to cleanse yourself. You need to detox yourself of people that treat you bad before you meet the person that you need to be with. You need to figure out why the hell you were attracted to that to begin with. You need to be able to look at a person like that and say, nah, oh my God, I can't resist it. Because here's what I'm gonna tell you, and it's gonna sting some people. Whatever you were dating, that's your standard. You can't be messing with Joe Schmo from the swamp and be like, I got better standards than this. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be here. This is your standard. Welcome. Welcome. But here's the thing. I'm not saying this to shame anyone, right? I never deliver these messages in the spirit of shame because I don't believe in that. I believe that people make decisions and that's what it is, right? I'm not here to judge. But I am here to tell you that if your goal is a standard of 8 and you messing around with these 2s, there are consequences. There are consequences. And I'm just telling you what time it is. Let me look at these questions. Thank you. Thank you so much for the compliments. I appreciate you. Sorry, it's completely unnecessary for you to be so handsome. Ha! Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. I ran right into that compliment. Thank you. Thank you. I got sleep. I got sleep last night. Is it a red flag if a man has too many girlfriends or still friends with all his exes? So here's what I would say. For some people that works, for some people it doesn't. That's more of a person-to-person type of situation. I personally cannot date someone who's friends with all their exes or an ex. I just don't believe in it. But I don't think that makes them a bad person. I think that's a personal red flag for me, right? Like I can't handle that. I can't work with that and I refuse to. One thing we have to do, you need my class, send me a DM. For all of you that want to work with me, send me a DM because not only will you get a one-on-one this week, but you'll also get access to my exclusive group. You will get added to my exclusive group. We do this every Wednesday. You can talk to me. You can talk to the group. We're like family. So make sure, I'm going to keep you away from these narcissists, all right? Because we ain't doing that no more. I'm trying to create the new churn, you know, where we say no more narcissists, no more narcissists. If you're done with it, I'm done with it. I'm tired. Are you tired? We tired out here. We tired of narcissists. I'm looking for remorse after my husband had an affair. But I don't find that, just a lot of anger. Well, why do you need to find that? Why are you trying to find an emotion that's not available to you right now? Maybe you should feel the feeling that's given to you and allow that to process and then get there. But here's the thing. Are you looking for it in him or are you looking for it in yourself? Seems a lot of people are into the whole friends with benefits option, especially younger generations. What's your take on this? It's not my thing, and I do not want any part of that. I think there are different kinds of people, right? I don't want to put everyone in one category. There are some people that are ethically non-monogamous who do more of the friends with benefits thing because that's what they're comfortable with, right? Some people don't want a relationship. They don't want monogamy. They don't want to get that close. There are some people who are just built that way or that's where they are in their life. Cool, right? No judgment. I also think that there are people who are doing it from a place of hurt. I think that some people don't have high self-esteem and they try to go after this person and this person does not want them in a real way, so they're willing to settle for friends with benefits. I think there are some people that are currently going through pain and that are not getting what they want in life, and this is their fix. Because sex can sometimes be used as a type of drug where it's like an addictive quality rather than something that is actually, good for you, right? And you're just addicted because you're not getting what you want or you have a problem, right? So I think that there are different kinds of people who work in that field. But here's the thing. Friends with benefits can be destructive, but falling in love with someone that's horrible for you can also be destructive. I believe in physical, right, or organ, like STDs, which is like, HIV and stuff like that. But I also believe in emotional STDs, right? And I know that sounds crazy, but walk with me. So I think that emotionally, some people can carry that. This person has all of this trauma that they're not processing. They don't go to therapy. They don't care. They're destructive. They crash out. And you tried to love them out of it, fully aware of how destructive they were. And you put yourself into a state of denial and you try to do that. And now when you walk away, you have to undo all of that stuff too. You got to go to therapy now. You got to go to counseling. You got to work through stuff. You can't love like you did before because you gave chances to a person that you thought was beneath you, that you thought, I'm going to nurse them back to health. But look what happened. Now you caught what they got because this person doesn't care. Let's see, more questions. When you lose faith, all your standards tend to drop. But and here's the thing, right? Losing faith is okay. Dropping your standards, that's okay. Believe it or not, it's do what you want. But getting upset about the consequences, see, that's wild, because that's when it's like, you need to take that accountability. That's how you heal. Because if I go right now, right, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. Nothing against people who smoke cigarettes. I've just never done it, right? If I go and I start smoking cigarettes back to back for the next 5 to 10 years, and then I go like, dang, why do my lungs hurt? I hate this. Bro, that's what I did. That's on me. I chose to do it. I got addicted. And now I have to deal with the consequences. Consequences can be good or bad. I believe that they can be good or bad. The consequence of me, right, eating healthy is I feel better. I feel healthier. I feel younger. I look rested. My skin is glowing, right? That's a consequence. So choose whatever path you want. And when things get hard, it's okay to say, well, I want to take a break. Just be aware. Sometimes I have a cheat meal 2 or 3 days in a row. And now my stomach don't look the same. I was this close to a 6-pack and then it just went away. All that ice cream was too good. That's on me. I'm getting out of an abusive marriage, but everything was fine before the pregnancy. What was that about? I don't know. You'd have to talk to me private. I have no idea how to answer that. I'd have to hear about more of what happened. What's crazy is I want to leave, but when things are good, I forget the bad. You don't forget the bad, you ignore the bad. Let's get that right. You didn't forget any of the bad. And for those of you that say that, we're going to stop lying today because I love y'all. I say this because I love you. Stop lying. You didn't forget nothing. What happened was you wanted the good so bad that when it came around, you were willing to ignore the bad. And if that's the case, then you're excusing it. That's the real answer. We need to start speaking truth into ourselves if we're ever going to break these habits, right? We need to speak absolute truth. That's my case right now. I moved out, got my new little studio apartment, moved out of standards, not breaking point, no cheating, only leaving that energy. That's great. What I hate is that they act like the victim if they were the ones who cheated. They act like the victim if they were the ones who cheated. So here's how it goes. That's because they feel like you will accept that behavior. See, a lot of the times, these guys will behave in a way that they think you will accept. They think that you're actually gonna go for it. See, yeah, I hate it too. I think it's ridiculous. But the fact that you think you can act like that towards me is a whole nother story, right? Hey, Kimmy, thank you for the rose. That was a normal name, y'all. Not the name where I'm like, oh, thanks for the rose, sweet bottom. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yes, they act like you are the reason they cheated, either physically or emotionally. Now, here, you want to hear something wild? Sometimes they actually think that. Sometimes they actually think that. Sometimes they actually think that you are a person that will believe that. They actually do. They go like, man, I'm cheating because of her. You know how many dudes I've heard say that? Well, I'm cheating because she won't do it with me. Well, I'm cheating because she keep acting like this. She keep acting up. I'm gonna have to get me another girl. You know how many dudes I've heard say that? They actually believe that out here. It's ratchet. Thank you. I focus on my daily discipline and ignore the gaslighting and pack my things, no long-term marriage. Very good. When I'm not getting what I need, I stay sometimes for the challenge. It's messed up. Hey, but at the same time, you're wasting your time. So, and that's not his fault. If you know that, then that's your fault. That's what I'm saying, right? And here's the thing. I'm so glad you're being honest with me because that's beautiful that we can be honest. This is a safe space. But if you say, I stay because I want the challenge, knowing that this person is messed up, then everything that happens after that is on you. Every piece of crazy that this person offers you is on you because now you have fully admitted and you accept that they crazy. So it's like, how is it his fault now? You knew it. You wanted the challenge. You're going to get it. See, for me, I don't want a challenge. I'm tired of challenges. This is not cute no more. The early 2000s, it was cute, right? Oh, we toxic, huh? We a toxic couple, we argue. Hell no. I'm tired of this. If you have attachment issues, work on it, right? It should be easy. This should be fun. What the hell? When did it become fun to challenge each other? First of all, inflation is going up. The economy is going up. We need money. We need to be working and hustling out here. We need to be making sure we got our stuff together. And y'all talking about we're going to make it troublesome in the relationship. Like, bro, do you know why I'm so level-headed when I get on these lives? Do you know how I manage to remain so objective? Because I walk away. Because let me tell you, can you imagine me doing this and I'm brokenhearted right now? Oh, man, yeah. No. We don't have time for that. I don't have time to be sitting here thinking like that. We got to hustle. If we're not coming correct, then we have to move on, period. There's no reason to keep that going. Now, let me check. Let me check my comments on TikTok. X messaged twice, commented on my post, I ignored it. Tell the boyfriend or leave alone. Here's a question. I would tell your boyfriend, if you're the type of couple that values transparency, then I would definitely let him know, but I would be open to blocking him. Like, why does he still have access to you? Right? If he's messaging and commenting and you don't want anything to do with him, you can literally just block him. So I would tell the boyfriend, but I would say, hey, I don't know why he's messaging me, but I feel like he's overstepping boundaries. I was cool with letting him follow me, but it looks like he can't just stop there. So I'm thinking I might just block him, like, because it's why is he still there? My ex used to call me out my name and made me feel bad about my body. Gave him 4 chances before I left. 4 chances is too many, girl. Once is maybe a mistake, twice is a choice. 4 chances is too much, Miss Danny Martinez. That man got way too much opportunity. Hey, Boombastic Gal. Now he's emailing me telling me he realized too late. I gave him too much. Yeah, he didn't realize it too late. He just doesn't want you to walk away. See, at some point, we have to start looking at it differently. These guys don't realize when it's too late. They just don't want you to go, and they're selling you a lie. How many of us are gonna start understanding that we're being lied to, okay? No, he would have realized it when he was in there. Now, maybe, is there a chance that when you left, he finally realized how great you were? Maybe, but we ain't got time to worry about that. Move on. Move the hell on. I'm the right person. They don't change. The beautiful. Okay. I don't know why I thought your name. This all happened 3 weeks ago. He said my live was overwhelming and he wasn't ready to accept it. My life was overwhelming. It wasn't a whole year together. This just happened 3 weeks ago with not giving me the new number. Do you need to talk to me? Do you need to talk to me? A man of value told me today that he finds it sexy when a woman stands up for her boundaries. Oh yeah, I find that sexy too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, girl, please tell me no. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what works for you. Tell me what doesn't work. That's marriage material right there. Don't sit here and just let me get away with everything. Because sometimes I don't even know if what I'm doing is wrong. And expecting me to pick up hints is a raw deal. Like, no, tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you do like so I know how to love you correctly. That's your job, right? Is to tell me what you need in order to be loved, because I don't know. It's not like people come with a manual, and everyone's different. So let me know and we're always changing. Is it okay for a husband to have girls who are his friends, but his wife doesn't like it because he cheated on her in the past while she was pregnant? Well, when you put it like that, you make it sound like, it almost sounds like I have to agree. But here's what I would say. Whether it's okay or not for the husband to do it, that's one question. Here's another question. Is wife putting her foot down? You see, here's the thing. You don't have to accept anything you don't want from your husband. You don't have to agree with what he does. And the fact that you're still holding on to when he cheated in the past and you're still with him is another story, right? If you're not able to move past that cheating, then is it just going to stop at him having girls as friends, right? Or is it going to be more things that he does? Because the bigger picture is you haven't gotten over that. And now it's being recycled for new stuff that's happening. Not saying that you don't have a right, because honestly, I don't agree with him being the way he is, but it's not about that. It's a bigger picture. You stayed with a man that cheated on you, and now there's new situations coming up that you don't trust him with because he cheated. So now here's the question. Are you ever going to get over the fact that he cheated? Because it's not going to stop here. If you can't get over the fact that he cheated, then there's always going to be something new. There's always going to be a new challenge or a new friendship or a coworker, because the reality is you're not trusting him. So that's something to consider. You send a DM already? Okay, I got you. The problem is these men are not being honest with themselves. They know they do not want a woman because they are on the down low. Oh, okay. Well, yes, a lot of men are not honest. Yes, that is true. But I would also argue that sometimes a lot of women aren't being honest with themselves either. One of the reasons why these guys can attract you is because you're not being honest with yourself. See, likeness attracts likeness, right? If In order to date me, you have to lie to yourself. You have to actually convince yourself that I'm worth a damn. You've seen me do a few things that are against your morals, that are against your better judgment, and you still decide to stay with me. So that can go both ways. Is there men out there that don't want children in marriage? Yeah, I would say more than likely men who already have children, unless you're not open to that. Finding a man that has never had children and has never been married and wants to get married without having children, that's a unique category, right? I haven't really seen too much of that, but I'm sure they do exist. Trust me, everybody of every kind of person exists. I've seen so many different kinds of people. Trust me, they're out there. Hey Lacey, what's up, girl? How's your life going? My boyfriend got a new cell phone right before I went to visit him, and I just found out his old phone. What does that mean? AN, I don't know how to say your name. You need to message me. That's a big question. Thank you, Xavier. I needed this today. Absolutely, Nikki. Honey bunny. Why you say that? Emotional STD. Those things are real. Call them ETDs. Emotionally transmitted diseases. We call them ETDs, emotionally transmitted diseases. Just because you didn't get an STD don't mean you don't have an ETD. Now you out here acting crazy because the person you dated was crazy. And now you're carrying that behavior from them because you can't, because now they corrupted you too. See? You better make sure just like you need to wrap it up before you have, before you start getting in bed with these people, you need to learn how to keep your alert system up when you start talking to them. Because these people give you emotional diseases too. Before you know it, you walking away and you're snapping at everybody you meet. You wasn't like that before. Now you walk away and you're scared to date now. Now you walk away and you're afraid that someone's gonna cheat on you. Now you walk away and you're like, why can't I have a normal conversation without assuming something's wrong with them? Y'all got them ETDs. How do you leave someone that is emotionally unstable, but you know mental health is declining too? You mean your mental health? You're gonna have to talk to someone, Tara. I recommend you send me a DM and let's work together. Because that sounds like a lot, right? And I know, I've been in this business so much, I know when some questions are deeper than the surface. And I would be doing you a disservice if I answered it on the surface. Ex-husband of 21 years was secretly taping me during intimacy. I've heard that quite often, that these dudes are out here taping y'all while y'all in bed together. That's wild. That's so illegal. During intimacy and putting it on the internet, swinger sites without my knowledge. Did you call a lawyer? Isn't that like defamation of character or something like that? Is it normal to find it hard to trust again after they cheat on you again and again? Yes, especially if you stay with them. That's why when I find out someone's gonna cheat on me or when I find out someone's acting funny, I just go. It's not because I'm trying to go through people quick. It's because I know if you do that to me, I won't be able to handle it, And I don't want to get this ETD. I want to be able to still trust people. How do I trust after such betrayal? Just like you would treat an STD, you need an ETD. So that would require services, right? So what you would have to do is talk to me. That's where I help. Send me a DM and I'll work with you. Have another baby with him. Yeah, you'll need to talk to someone. Love from India. Let's go, India. What part of India? I love India. I make a mean butter chicken. Y'all better stop playing with me. I make butter chicken. I make mango lassi. Maybe Taco Bell and a spicy margarita. That's wild. I haven't heard of people. I'm just kidding. I literally had Taco Bell last week. I had that big Cheeto. They got the giant Cheeto from Taco Bell. Gosh, it's so addictive. Can I be you when I grow up? Ha! You don't want to go through what I went through to get here. Yeah, I love mango lassi. Yeah, I say lassi, not lassie. I had to learn that the hard way. Had a whole bunch of people from India was getting on me. It's not lassi. Ugh. I was like, man, come on, man. I'm scared to leave my husband because I don't want my daughter to have a broken family like I did. Your family's already broken. You know, most of the time, the stuff that we're scared of is usually what already happened. Your family's already broken. The fact that you're scared to leave because of an outcome like that, it's already broken. If you already don't trust this man, see, sometimes, and I'm gonna tell you this, right? I've had so many couples that I've worked with that have kids and they don't leave each other out of fear of what's gonna happen with the kids. But here's what I'll tell you. I don't know if somehow we got this into our minds that the kids don't pick up the energy in the house. And then parents will tell me all the time, I never show them how bad I am. Your energy does not lie. Kids are very sensitive to energies before they can even talk, right? Like babies can recognize a smile. Babies can recognize tones. It's something that we're inherently just built with. So I hate to tell you, but being in that house with that energy and you guys aren't getting it right and you don't trust him and he's acting a certain way with you, your babies could potentially grow up knowing dysfunction in the house. And they're gonna accept a certain type of behavior anyway. Yeah, I love kids. Please, girl, don't put your daughter through his trauma because you're afraid to leave. It happens all the time. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you for the rose. Like, I hear it all the time. Like, I literally hear some couples arguing, and in the background, you hear the kids screaming. And I'm like, yeah, of course, your kids won't pick that up at all. They'll just see mommy and daddy fighting aggressively for the first developmental years of their life. And you think that that's a better alternative to being at least one parent that's at peace over the other one. You think this is the better route? Okay. I think some people are lying. I'm not saying you're lying, but I think some people are lying. I think the reality is you just don't want to be a single parent. I think that's one of the reality. You don't want to have to go back out into the world, be alone and be a single parent and then try to date. You don't want to have to go through that. So you're saying it's the kid. It's really not the kid. You're using the kid as an excuse. Come on, man. Like, now I do agree that there are some people who are not, but there's some people who are using their kids as excuses to not do certain things. The reality is you don't have faith in yourself. And see, if I say this, I don't want the cavalry coming from me. Because see, sometimes I keep it too real. Dating as a single mom is hard, but what if nobody wants me and my kid? Then maybe that's an opportunity to focus on the kid that you created, right? Because what about the kid's life? What about the kid's needs? They didn't ask to be here. So if you're more worried about dating as a single mom than you are about the mental and emotional well-being of your kid, then I think that speaks on a person as a parent. It's okay to be nervous about that. It's okay to hate that and the idea of that. Yes, sometimes it does suck. It sucks for everybody though. That's the thing. Dating as a single parent sucks. Dating as a single person without kids sucks too. When you have standards, regardless, your dating life is gonna have a certain amount of suck in it, you know, because you gotta go out here and deal with all these people that have ETDs. But your main priority, one of your priorities should be making sure that your kid who did not ask to be here gets one of the best lives imaginable. That should be your happiness. That should be a big part of your happiness, is knowing that you're doing such a great job with your child. And if that's not a part of your happiness and you're putting yourself before your child, trust me, that's gonna show up later in their life. You're not gonna see it now, but later on when they grow up and they not acting right because of certain things that you chose to deal with because you're not willing to face, that's on you, baby. You gonna see it in your kids. And you're gonna be blaming yourself. I see it happen all the time. I see parents all the time blaming themselves for not doing better with their kids. And now their kids are out here acting up and they're practically a slave to their kid now. It's too late. Why did they have kids? Maybe trap a partner into marriage. Maybe mom is the one needing a daddy. Damn. That was, wow. Now here's what I think. I think that it's a good point to consider that, you know, if you're having a child just because you want one for yourself. Thank you so much, Shannon. You know, like there's different reasons why people have kids, right? But if one of the reasons isn't because you want to pour into your child, because as parents, right? Parents, we put aside a lot of our wants to make sure that the kid has a good chance at an upbringing, so they have a great life, so they can carry on, right? Having a child requires you to be extremely selfless, right? So when you have a child, that should be your number one thought, right? Is that I'm gonna give this child opportunities I didn't have, because that's what the purpose is, right? Or have a child. If you're having a child just because you want a kid, and you're not actually worried about what that kid will end up needing, and that's selfish. I just want the glory of it. I don't actually want to put aside my own needs. That's how a lot of these children grow up so dysfunctional, because they don't have a relationship with their parents like that, right? They can't depend on them. And a lot of these parents, I don't think they're thinking about what it's gonna take to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot. So if you're not willing to put aside your own needs sometimes to make sure that that kid has a good shot, there is a world that they're gonna face. And because they don't have a relationship with you, that world is gonna be very confusing. Look at how hard the world is on us as adults who have lived 20, 30 something, 40 something, 50 something years, right? The world is hard enough on us. You're gonna put a kid up against that without you because you wanna satisfy your wants first. So now that kid has to fend for themselves. You don't think that the world is gonna get a hold of them and twist them in all kinds of directions they don't need to be in? It's about being selfless. Selfless with your children. Selfless with your partner. Right? With the right partner, not these maniacs. Actual people that want to give back to us. Your advice, what? Hold on. What the heck, baby? Hold on. I gotta take a picture of this one. Your advice totally worked. I appreciate it so much. Communication between my boyfriend and I is getting better. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad I was able to help with that. That's what I do, baby. I had another couple last week that their communication is getting better too. So yes, that's what I want. And honestly, one of the best ways communication is gonna get better is through honesty. You know, here's what I could say. With all of the clients I've worked with, most of the time when I hear that couples are not getting along, it's because they're not being honest. It's like there's a layer of honesty that they're afraid of, And you can tell because you'll hear them talk and you realize you're not being real about this. You're not being real. They don't want to be real because they're afraid that the other person is gonna like dump them or have a one up on them. So they don't tell their partner the truth. Sometimes being a partner is ugly work. Like sometimes you gotta tell your partner things that they're not gonna want to hear. It's not always about what they want to hear, it's what they need to hear, right? But we're so busy trying to like mold this picture for our person. And then here's what happens. Later on, you see that behavior come out. If you don't eventually tell your partner, eventually they're gonna see something and they're gonna be like, wait, this wasn't you. This wasn't the behavior I was expecting. This is the picture that you sold to me. And now you acting different. Like I thought you was this type of person. I thought you were okay with this. I thought you were good with this, and now you're not. Like, or I thought you weren't good with this, and now you are. Like, a lot of people are afraid of being 100% with their partner, and that's causing people to get in these fights. Yes, you're right. Thanks. Xavier, you do a really good job. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful compliment. You're so sweet. Y'all are so sweet. I know I go off on a tangent. And to be honest, when I go on these tangents, I just go into it and I have no idea what type of comments I'm gonna get. I'm like, watch me scroll down. It's like, Xavier, you're canceled. I just talk, right? But luckily I've been doing this long enough. Take a picture for the ego boost. I take a picture for proof because people need to be reminded. You know what I'm saying? I would have sued. Yeah. But see, love from Germany too. Yay! Angel, good to see you. Angel, you gotta tell. Angel, you gotta tell the people. Tell the people how good my work is. Now that you're on here. Love from Germany, from Deutschland. I like how you split your name up here. It's Angelica, but you put angel.ika. Angel, tell the people how quickly our turnarounds are. Why does an ex only send memes? He claims he wants friendship, but then he sends only memes without having. Why are you worried about that? He wants a friendship. He wants his idea of friendship. What you need to do is look at what he'd rather do. He'd rather just send you a meme. He don't want to do more than that. If that's not your idea of friendship, then don't acknowledge it or just send a meme right back. I think the problem is that you want more from him and he's not giving it to you. And you're like, well, what does this mean? It don't mean nothing. And here's the thing. If he's an ex, why are you worried about it? Y'all didn't work out. Y'all didn't qualify to be with each other. He should be behind you, right? He should be left in the rear view. And I totally recall I was crying my heart out and my 2-year-old daughter came and hugged me and wiped my tears away. It broke my heart. No fighting. They heard me crying. I tell people often, my boyfriend ghosted for almost 2 weeks and he calls me. Well, he's not your boyfriend. If he could just ghost you for 2 weeks, that ain't your boyfriend, yo. You spend more than 24 hours, 48, and it's not a medical emergency, not talking to me, you're not my girlfriend no more. I'm sorry, you're done. This is out. Oh, well, I had to think about you. Think about being single. Think about another man. What other platform are you on? My 2 main platforms are Instagram and TikTok, and I have a YouTube, but it's just shorts. I don't really post long form. Checking up to see how you've been doing, then he ghosted again. He's not your boyfriend. You really think this is your boyfriend? Is this your bar for a boyfriend? Someone who could just not talk to you for 2 weeks? Is that the standard we're at right now? See, this is what I mean by standards, right? You ghost me for 2 weeks, I can still like you, but I'm dumping you because that's crazy that you think you could ever do that to me. What? Kids can pick up on nonverbal cues just because you don't. Yeah, but people are lying to themselves. They're too busy lying to themselves. If I'm ever crying, I cry in the shower. I let my stress out, and my kids don't have to worry about me. Okay. I left an abusive marriage for myself, but also my daughter. She will never forget that I did everything to save her. Absolutely. Kids always remember good parents. She's like, Daddy, I want a treat. She always wants a treat. You always have the best advice. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I gotta tell you, you guys, hearing this is very motivational for me. You know, it's very motivational, so I appreciate it. More questions, though. We're running low on questions. We've got someone here who thinks that that's still her boyfriend, and he left you for 2 weeks. Who wants to call in? Does anyone want to call in through TikTok? I love doing those sometimes. She said, I do, never mind. You scared? I'm playing. Just a hot potato. But yeah, if you want to get in, remember, if you want to get into my private group, thank you for the likes, y'all, by the way. Thank you for rolling up the likes. I appreciate you. If you want to get into my private group, make sure you send me a DM with the word ready, because we have private lessons that I don't do here on social media. We get way more into it outside of social media. So you're seeing good stuff on here, but it's not as good as outside, because we have our own private group. It's a lot of us in there. I think it's like over 70 to 80 plus people in there now. Yeah, we don't play games. Oh my gosh. TikTok does this thing where it makes me move this puzzle piece. Oh my, I was about to say a cuss word, but I did, because I'm not trying to get banned. How to deal with a narcissist father for my 3-year-old child. How is he a narcissist? That's the first question. What is he doing? I will, but I'm a lot. You will what? You want to get on? What do you mean you a lot? Let's bring on a lot. I'm adding you right now. She's laughing. She's about to get on here and scream. Let's go, Tara. You're breaking the ice for everyone else.
I'll try.
What's going on, Tara?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I've been better, but right now I'm good, thanks.
That's good. So, what's your question?
So, how do I, let's see, how am I gonna say it? How do I leave someone that I'm scared to leave?
Why are you scared to leave?
He's told me if he leaves, he supposedly has self-harm tendencies, which I have not seen, but I've heard from himself. That he has self-harm tendencies, and he said if I leave, something bad will happen to him.
Is it your responsibility to, I guess, I would ask, is that your responsibility?
No.
Okay, so we got that there. So he's saying, I want you to stay with me against your own wants and needs. So it's already a selfishly made decision, because he's saying, even though you don't want to be here, I want you to be here anyway. And he's basically telling you he's going to do something to himself if you leave.
Correct. He said he will have no will to live because he has no family left and nowhere to go.
So is that your fault?
not at all.
So he hasn't gone out and figured out a way to find Will outside of you. So he's saying that you are the only reason why he's willing to live at this point, even though you don't want to be here.
Correct. Him and my kids, which are not his by any means. My kids are grown. But yeah, he says me and my kids.
Like how grown?
I have a 22-year-old and an 18-year-old. The 18-year-old still lives at home.
So they are adults.
Correct.
So he has two adults. So they can choose whether they want to be with him or not.
Yeah, they're not his, thank goodness. We've only been together 4 years.
They're not his? Like they're not even his kids?
No, not at all.
So no one is with him.
No.
How long have you been with him?
4 years.
When did you start to see that these behaviors were picking up? Like how long into it?
About 2 years into it.
2 years. And why did you decide to stay the next 2 years?
To be honest, I was scared to leave.
Because of this?
Because he's been physical with me before, and he's told me a couple of things, so it made me scared to leave as well.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, and that you felt that way. So do you currently live with him right now?
Yes.
Do you have a place that you can go to if you do decide to leave?
I do. Right now it's hard. I sold my house about 2 years ago and made good money off of it. I was gonna leave, so I gave him half of what I made, and then I spent the rest on his new car, or not a new car, but I gave him a couple $1,000s to buy him a car, and then I spent mine on bills. Well, so now I gave him more money to pay some of his bills, and now I'm the only one working. He ran out of money, and we live in his RV in his ex-wife's name on my daughter's land, while I'm looking for some land and a house myself.
So you don't have somewhere to go.
I can go to my daughter's house, and me and my son can get a house or an apartment together.
Have you told any authorities about this?
No.
That might be an avenue.
If I ever did that, then he would harm himself in front of people.
Well, here's the thing is that you're not responsible, and it is not your job to make sure that he doesn't do something he's not supposed to do. But at the same time, I can't help. You can't help but feel what you feel, but you have to do what's right for you.
Right.
Because in a way, what that's also showing him is that this excuse is working, right? As long as I can throw up the "I'm gonna harm myself" message, then she's gonna stick around. I can get everything I want. I can keep her from going to the authorities, even though I've harmed her. I can keep her from, doing what she needs to do for herself or looking out for her better health and judgment. I'm able to control her whole world with this statement.
Right.
So what this is basically kind of showing him that he's getting away with it.
And he can do what he wants.
Because what's the incentive to change from there?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
If anything, it's just making him worse. Because now he's got results from bad behavior. So it's almost like, well, let's just capitalize on that. What else can I get away with as long as I use this excuse, right? Which means that it's never going to get better. It's just going to get worse.
I agree.
So
I guess I'm trying to get up the nerve to leave. I feel bad for him. I guess I should feel bad for myself as well, but I don't.
Right.
He took me for granted. My husband passed away in March 2020, and then we got together like in November or December of 2020 because he thought he knew me from middle school, or knew the same me from middle school. And so he's like, hey, we already know each other. Let's just do this and this. And I was like, oh, okay.
So basically, you pity him.
Yes.
Okay. You think that's love?
No.
Do you think you love him?
I love him in love. No.
What do you love about him?
When we're good, which right now is hardly in between. It's half and half right now.
So your statement, when we're good, we're good. That's the only time you could say you love him, right?
Yeah.
So what about the other parts? The parts that when you're not good, you love those parts?
I don't.
So then you don't love him. See, like it's one of those things where when you love someone, you love even the flaws. Now, you might not always like it. I don't like the fact that you take so long to finish your dinner. I don't like the fact that you are so loud in the morning. But I love you, and I love those things about you because that's what makes you you. So when you tell yourself things like, I love this, but not that, that's not the way love truly works. You gotta love all of it. You gotta take all of it with you.
Right. I think I loved him in the beginning, but after he's cheated on me physically a couple of times and emotionally 2 days in a account, like talking to other girls and telling love bombing them while we're together, I think that just made me fall out of love.
Well, also, would you say that's below your standard?
Yes. I
So
didn't think so.
you didn't think that getting cheated on was below your standard?
Not then.
What was your standard back then? Like,
I guess I didn't feel like I deserved more. There was no reason for it.
you felt like you didn't deserve more?
Right.
Why?
Honestly, don't know.
Okay. You sure you don't know, or is it something you don't want to say on live?
No, I've never. I guess I would never really love myself.
That's okay. I'm sorry you feel that way. I think that before you take this leap, right? I think that working on that first may be the help to begin with. What do you think?
Yes, I agree.
Because here's the thing, you could, get yourself out of the situation, run for the hills, but the reality is you're going to still feel that attachment because there's a part of you that may feel like you can't do better or you don't deserve better. And if that's still there, you're probably going to run out and run right back.
Yeah.
So this is something we can work through.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you came on today. Send me a DM.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being vulnerable here.
Thanks.
Absolutely, girl. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, baby. So, yeah. This is how much is a group? Just send me a DM. Send me a DM. See, that's the thing is a lot of the times when we make certain decisions like this, and I know that I get on here and I'm like raw and I'm loud, but at the end of the day, a lot of what's happening can sometimes be tied to ourselves, right? And Because we ask these same questions. I hear that it's the same questions all the time. Why does this person treat me like they do? Right? Why are there so many bad people out here? Why is it always going wrong? And the reality is, sometimes it has nothing to do with the other person. Sometimes it's us. And what you saw from, that wonderful woman, in this situation, what we saw was that her relationship was part of a result of what she felt about herself. Right? And that's how it goes. But what we always try to do is we always try to point at the other person, right? You saw how I broke down and broke down and broke down. And I was like, I said, what does that mean? What does that happen? Why does that mean that? And then it got all the way to the point where I didn't think this about myself. So that's normally the root. And what we do is the first thing we normally assume when we get into these situations is it's the other person. I'm not saying the other person doesn't have some stake in it. Yes, they do. There are people out here that are crazy. But we have to start looking inward in order to be able to navigate away from these people. You see what I'm saying? We have to navigate away from them. Because these people are everywhere. There are a lot of people out here, a lot of guys out here who are broken, who have not healed, who don't look at women as someone that can be a partner, who don't value their presence, value them as a person, who don't respect women, who don't look at them like they're more than just an object, who objectify them, who think of them as just something to have and not someone to appreciate or someone to respect. There's so many guys out here that are like that. So if it's so many guys out here that are like that, and then there are other guys who would never do something like that, why is it that we find ourselves in alignment with just this guy? That's not hard to find. And then we say, I can't find a connection. So you went into the biggest pool imaginable. This is a huge pool. You want to find people who aren't healed? People who aren't going to treat you right, who aren't trying to work towards their own salvation? Yeah, that's a huge pool. You acting like you found a rare Pokemon. Like you found something everybody can get. But there are also guys that are out here that are different. But you got to ask, why am I aligned with one and not the other? Why is this behavior in my life and not the other? And what we do is we blame it on external factors. Well, it's too many bad guys out here. Too many. That's the real problem, not me. Okay, so let me ask you a question then. Let's say that statement is true, right? There's like 90% bad guys and 10% good ones. Does that mean that you have to date them? At that point, wouldn't it just be a wrap? Is life not more than being connected to someone that's absolutely awful for you? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. If it's like 95% women that are terrible and then there's only 5% and they're all spoken for, I'm not settling. I'm not settling because there's a quality of life that I just refuse to give up. There's a quality of life that I have to work towards every day. My mindset, my health, the things that I do and take care of, the amount of hills I'm able to climb, that takes a lot of effort to keep up. I can't afford to have someone in my life that's got problems going on all the time and not working on their own mental growth and walking around with ETDs. I can't handle it. But I'm also gonna make sure, see, here's the thing. When I seek a woman for my life, I seek a woman that I can add value to. That's one of the first things I think about. See, normally a lot of people, what we think about is, what can they do for me? Well, what can they offer me? What can they offer me? The first thing I'm thinking about is, what can I offer you? Right? Like if I date a woman that, for example, she owns a house and has like 4 different jobs, right? She's just a go-getter. But I noticed that in the house, there's a lot of stuff that's out of whack, right? There's stuff over here. She can't get this organized, stuff like that. I'm thinking, I need to help. I want to help. I want to add value here, right? How can I make your life easier? Of course, we're doing it for each other, but that's not my main focus, is getting something. Getting something is the blessing. That's something that, is a bonus. I want to add value because it's going to make me happy to see you happy because I value you as a person. See, some people don't really like making other people happy genuinely. They do things for people always with the expectation of getting something in return. Everything is so transactional. That means I don't even like y'all person. If that person's happiness that's generated in them because of you doesn't make you happy alone, then maybe you don't really like them. If their only value to you is having to always do for you, then maybe you don't genuinely like them. You ever just genuinely like someone? Like, what the hell happened to that? Man, I really just want to take her to this restaurant. I know she loves pizza. We're flying out to Michigan, Detroit on Sunday, and I got this pizza place where they put the sauce on top of the pizza. I know she's gonna go crazy when she eats that pizza. I can't wait to see how happy she is. Whatever happened to stuff like that? How can we filtrate the liars from the good men when they're all in the mix? They pretend to be real. By stop being so guarded. You want to know one key way? And this is what I'll give you. This is normally what I give my group. One key way to know the liars from the good people is to stop being so guarded. I know that sounds crazy. Let me explain, because a lot of women tell me how guarded they are. I'm so guarded after my last guy. I guard. The problem with guarding is you're not actively looking for the stuff that's happening in front of you. You're guarding yourself based on preconceived notions, based on past experiences. This is what I mean. You got an ETD. You're guarding yourself because you're afraid that what happened in the past might happen again. So instead, you just guard yourself always up to the ceiling. So here's what you got to do. Don't be guarded. Be open. Right? I'm not saying be vulnerable, be open, seek with them, right? Like, be there in the moment. Don't be like, oh, I'm just looking to see if what you're going to say is going to sound crazy. I got to make sure you're not like my ex. Guess what? Narcissists, their behavior mirrors a lot of different guys. They act like a lot of different guys because they're trying to put on the best face to convince you that they're good, right? They're trying to convince you that they're good. So it's a lot of convincing. What you have to do is look at who they are. Listen. Don't sit back with the thoughts running through your mind of, oh, this person could be crazy, or this person could be messed up, or this person did this. Oh my God, this person. That's why you're so guarded, because you automatically assume that this person might be a bad person. Here's the thing. Hello, Amara. Thank you from Australia. For example, I don't know if I told y'all, but I box now, right? I box on the side. When I box, right? When I try to guard myself, that's when I do my worst job. I'm so worried about getting hit that I start guarding myself. That's when people come after me. Right? That's when they're hitting me with all these jabs. Why? Because I'm not looking for the vulnerable points. You can't have both. You can't be guarded and focus on vulnerable points. You got to let the guard down a little bit. You got to let it down a little bit. So what I have to do in order to box properly is I have to focus on their openings. And sometimes, guess what? I get caught because I'm trying to throw them off. So I'll get caught. And sometimes I'm like, damn, that hurts, right? Sometimes I get caught, but guess what? I got your weak spot. I know who you are now. You have to look forward. You can't just sit there and just say, I'm gonna just be guarded. Because guess what? since you're terrified, that almost makes you not strong enough. Because sometimes being guarded means that you're not strong enough if something was to come get you. If somebody was to manipulate you, right? Thank you, Amira. Thank you. If somebody was to manipulate you, it's almost like saying, I'm not strong enough to work around that. A lot of people are guarded because they don't trust themselves. They don't trust themselves. Being guarded and going out into the dating field it don't work. It don't work. You gotta let the guard down a little bit. You gotta pay attention. Look at it from a new lens. Give this person a new lens. Have in the back of your mind, I know what could happen, but I'm not gonna worry about that in this moment. So sometimes you have to look at the person in the moment, because guess what? Some of the most guarded people I know always end up in relationships with narcissists. Always. Because you know why? Narcissists love guarded women. They love y'all. Y'all are like candy to them. You know why? Because they know you terrified. So so what they do is they look at you and they say, you guarded, you hurt. You're afraid of being hurt again? I'm gonna tell you everything you wanna hear. I'm gonna sell you only the words that you're looking for. You're looking for some love bombing. You're looking for some ultra reassurance. You want me to give you everything and say you're the only woman that I ever wanted. You want me to say that? I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna sell you the best picture imaginable. So that's when you have to say, you know what? Hey, I'm not gonna worry about guarding myself, because I know if I find out something, I'm out. When you can say that, oh, you're in there. When you know how to bob and weave certain statements, when you know how to ask certain questions, like for example, a lot of people are guarded, but they don't know how to ask the right questions. They don't know how to create boundaries. See? Because boundaries and standards require you to act in the moment. Being guarded allows you to have a full wall up. But if you have a full wall up, how are you noticing what the difference is between good or bad? There's a wall here. See, what I do instead is I navigate through. I let a person say whatever, do whatever, and then when I notice something, I just create a boundary. Hey, Xavier, you know, I'm the type of person where I like to be friends with my ex. Excuse me? We could be going on 5 amazing dates. Man, I'm just feeling real good. It's been 5 dates. Man, I don't know, she might be the one. Yeah. You know, my ex called me yesterday. Why he called you? Well, he called me just because he wanted to check on me. You know, my birthday's coming up soon. Okay. And how did you respond? Well, you know, of course I had to have a conversation with him. I understand. What's your take on being friends with your ex? Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, it's just that sometimes your ex knows you better than anyone else. Okay. And you think that's okay? Yeah, that's okay. What about you? I don't. See, a lot of us can't do that though. A lot of us will get 5 dates in and we're like, well, maybe I want to give them a chance. Maybe they're not that bad. I got this connection and we're only in month 2. I don't care if we have a connection. I don't care. I love a connection, don't get me wrong. And I don't feel a connection all the time either. I get it maybe twice a year if I'm lucky, right? The rate I'm going. But at the same time, I could still say, I don't care how deep the connection is, I will walk. When you can finally start to say that to yourself, you don't have to worry about being guarded. You don't have to worry about being guarded. I don't care if I'm in infatuation. I don't care if it feels really good and you're the first person to ever say these things to me and I never had someone say this to me before. You came off so differently than the last person and you were so different and so great and I just never had this before. I don't care about none of that. Don't get me wrong, that's nice. But if through all of that you tell me something that's a deal breaker or you show me something, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm still gonna think highly of you though. I'm not gonna lose my liking of you. So the whole point is being guarded is okay if you want to do that. But from what I will tell you is if you're trying to go out and you're trying to date, you have to use a different method. If you want to spot the narcissists, create boundaries at the right times and you will be shocked at how that works way better. Because not only does it give the right person a chance to meet you, but you can weed out the wrong people. And it's much more effective. If you want to learn more about that though, come to my lives. Come to my Wednesday classes, my group. If you want to sign up for the group and you want a one-on-one with me, I have a few open spots this week. Go ahead and DM me the word ready. Time is it? All right, well, I got to jump off for today. Make sure you DM me ASAP. DM me if you want to work with me, and I will get back to you, and I will talk to you later. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We had a good live today. Doing it again tomorrow, so make sure you're ready. 2 p.m. EST. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day.